On their wedding night, this couple made a really weird pact. They agreed that if either of them ever cheated, they were then obligated to kill the person they cheated with. Well, guess what happens? So this story starts with this guy, Jason. Jason is around 28 when all this begins, and he's living in Indiana. One day in 2009, his whole life gets completely screwed up. He's out working as a pool technician cleaning swimming pools when suddenly he seriously injures his back. The injury is bad, so bad that he can no longer work, and to make things worse, he can no longer be intimate with his wife. His wife is Kelly. She's 31. Now that Jason can't provide, Kelly has to take on multiple jobs to support them both. And over time, she starts resenting him for it. Eventually, that resentment turns into something else. Kelly starts cheating on Jason, hooking up with other men on the side. Jason knows about the cheating. He hates it, but he tolerates it because he doesn't want her to leave him. A few years pass, and now it's 2013. The couple moves from Indiana to a small town in Michigan, about 6 hours away. Jason still has severe back problems and still can't work, so Kelly gets a job at a local manufacturing plant. That's where she meets Chris. Chris is 53, about 20 years older than her. They hit it off immediately. They become friends and then quickly start an affair. They're seeing each other constantly, 4 to 5 times a week, usually at Chris's apartment. Jason knows about this too. He even tells her to stop, but Kelly doesn't stop. If anything, it gets deeper. Over time, it's not just physical anymore. They start having dinner together, going on hikes, acting like a real couple. Now it's 2014. The affair is still going, but it seems like it might be winding down, at least for Chris, who's planning to move out of state. But for some reason that's still unclear, Kelly suddenly decides she doesn't just want Chris out of her life, she wants him dead. And who does she recruit to help her? Her husband, Jason. Because of that pact they made on their wedding night, they now decide to follow through with it. So they come up with a plan. Kelly will lure Chris to their house, and Jason will kill him. Kelly invites Chris over. He arrives, and almost immediately they start hooking up right in the doorway. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Jason appears with a gun. He shoots Chris and kills him. They take his body to the basement. Jason uses an electric saw to dismember him. They put the remains into garbage bags and dump them in a remote wooded area. Then they take Chris's car, drive it to a local parking lot, and abandon it there. And then things get even stranger. After all of this, Kelly and Jason host a barbecue at their house and invite neighbors over. There are allegations that they may have cooked some of Chris's remains into the food and served it to guests, though this part was never proven. About 10 days later, Chris is reported missing. Police begin investigating. That same day, they find his abandoned car. Inside it, there's a post-it note with Kelly and Jason's address. Police bring both of the men for questioning. They learn about the affair. Kelly claims they were in an open marriage. Jason says that's not true. He hated the cheating. Police are suspicious, but they don't have enough evidence, so they let them go. 5 months later, in 2015, Kelly and Jason move back to Indiana, and that's when things take another turn. Kelly begins to resent Jason. She even starts blaming him for Chris's death, despite being involved herself. She claims she loved Chris and now wants revenge on Jason. Her plan? Kill him and make it look like an accident. In 2016, she gets her chance. One night, Jason mentions wanting to use heroin for his back pain. Kelly sees the opportunity. She buys heroin and later that night offers to inject him, but secretly she fills the syringe with a lethal amount. She injects him and waits, but Jason doesn't die. He just sits there, high. So while he's barely conscious, Kelly covers his nose and mouth, cutting off his air. Within about a minute, between the drugs and lack of oxygen, Jason dies. Kelly calls 911 and pretends to panic. Paramedics arrive, but it's too late. She tells police it was an accidental overdose, and at first, they believe her. It looks like she might get away with it twice, until the autopsy comes back. The report shows Jason didn't have enough heroin in his system to overdose. Instead, he died from asphyxiation, meaning he was murdered. And the person most likely responsible was the one with him when he died, Kelly. She's arrested. Eventually, she confesses to her role in both Jason's murder and Chris's murder, and she is sentenced to life in prison.